Good morning, and welcome to StoneTalk. As always, I'm your host, Jason Osgood. I'm Senior Director of Distribution for StoneHardscapes. If this is your first time here, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us today. If you're a repeat viewer, thank you for coming back. For those of you who are new, this is a monthly webinar series where we dig into and dive into all aspects of natural stone. Over the past 6 months, we have done episodes and webinars on the best practices for stone installation, coping installation, natural stone governance, natural stone care and maintenance, and then last month we dug into understanding coefficient of friction. As always, if you want to go back and review an episode, or you want to go and start from the beginning, you can always go to our YouTube channel at StoneHardscapes.com and check out our videos there. Check out my videos on the Stone Talk series, as well as our Designer Talk series with our Senior Architectural Design Consultant, Linda Abbott. So let's get started on this month. This month's episode, we're going to dive deeper into natural stone testing and standards for the industry. Why is it important? What are the current standards for natural stone? Who are the testing societies that perform these tests and regulations? And then what do we gain from this testing? Why is it important? Why is testing in our industry important? Well, for several reasons. It provides a level of assurance and peace of mind to the homeowner that the product that they have installed is going to last the test of time. It guarantees that the product is of the best quality. Keep in mind that all commercial projects require a certain level of standards to be met for anything that is installed. Testing and standards give installers and distributors a level of protection against product failure. And I assure you, you can be confident that the material tests are much harsher than anything that exists in a homeowner or a commercial application. So they are tested to a higher standard. And for us and for the industry, it creates another level of transparency that is very important and something that we at StoneHardscapes strive for. So let's talk about the testing itself. There are 4 major tests that we adhere to and we certainly provide for all of our customers. There's the coefficient of friction testing, the older standard, the ASTM C1028, the new standard, the dynamic standard of the ANSI A137.1, the compression strength test, the freeze-thaw test, and the water absorption and density testing. So let's talk about each of those individually. The ASTM 1028 and the ANSI 137.1, the coefficient of friction testing, we really dove into that in last month's webinar, and I encourage you, if you're interested, to go back and take a look at it. But it is a standard test for determining the static and dynamic coefficient of friction of ceramic tile and other like surfaces on a horizontal, by a horizontal diameter pool meter test. We won't dig into a little more because we did do one last month, so I would encourage you to go back and watch that. It will explain to you why the ASTM C1028 is of the older standard and the new standard is the ANSI 137.1. There's the compression strength testing, the ASTM C170. This is a test method to determine the differences of compression strength between various dimensional stones, including granite and limestones, marble, sandstones, and travertine. This is important because it assures that the product itself can withstand any pressure. The product itself can withstand any dynamic forces that are put on it for residential and commercial applications. The ASTM C666M, the freeze-thaw test. This is very important for markets in areas that we have freeze conditions. This is a standard method for resistance of material to rapid freezing and thawing. The product itself is put through multiple freeze-thaw cycles, which ensures that over time the product's not going to fail. If a product does not pass this and is installed in an area, say like the Midwest, where the temperatures freeze overnight, then the product will fail over time. The ASTM C97, the water absorption and density test. Now this test tests the methods for absorption and bulk specific gravity of dimensional stones. This is the test the porosity level of the stone to make sure that the stone is not absorbing too much water. More water the stone absorbs, the more likely the stone is going to fail over time. This test will go right with the freeze-thaw test as well. So you can be assured if it does not pass the water absorption test, it will not pass the freeze-thaw test. So these are the 4 tests that happen within our industry, the 4 tests that we adhere to at StoneHardscapes, the 4 tests that I encourage you as a consumer or as an installer to make sure that the product you have has all of these. Now within this, there are 2 organizations that do these testings. There's the ASTM International, and then there's the American National Standards Institute, or ANSI. Let's talk about the 2 different societies. So let's talk about ASTM International. Formerly known as the American Society for Testing of Materials, it is an international organization that focuses on helping to create and test universal standards and regulations for a wide range of materials, products, systems, and services. They have an active role, and this is important, they have an active role in both standards and regulations. Now, the history of ASTM International is that they were formed in 1898 by a group of scientists and engineers to study the frequent rail breaks that plagued the fast-growing railroad industry. Through many name changes, in 2001, they finally settled on ASTM International, the name that we know today. Over their time, they have developed more than 12,800 global standards that are recognized in more than 110 countries, and they have over 30,000 volunteer members helping them with their standards and regulations. Their mission statement is that they are committed to serving global societal needs. ASTM International positively impacts public health and safety, consumer confidence, and overall quality of life. They are integrated consensus standards developed with our international memberships, volunteer technical experts, and innovative services to improve lives. They have 5 strategic objectives: leadership, global technical expertise, standards and technical content development, services provider, and organizational vitality. Okay, now let's talk about ANSI. ANSI, or the American National Standards Institute, is a nonprofit organization whose primary focus is on providing voluntary guidance on product safety and conformity specs for a wide range of industries within the United States. ANSI is not a standards development organization. That's very important to understand that. They do not develop standards. They do, however, provide a framework for safety and quality conformity assessment systems that protect consumers and brands themselves. To do this, ANSI works closely with government bodies and experts within their industry fields to collaborate and assist in developing regulations based on international and regional needs. Now, ANSI was formed in the United States in 1918 as the American Engineering Standards Committee, the AESC. The Institute works in close collaboration with stakeholders from industry and government to identify standards and conformance-based solutions to national and global priorities. Their mission statement is to enhance both competitive U.S. brands and U.S. quality of life by promoting and facilitating voluntary consistent standards and conformity assessment systems and safeguarding their integrity. Their strategic objectives is to serve as a strong voice on behalf of U.S. standards community, protecting and strengthening its impact domestically and globally. ANSI's priority is U.S.-based industries. All right, now let's talk about the differences between ASTM and ANSI. As we said prior, ASTM International is active in the creation of product and testing standards, as well as the enforcement of those standards. Whereas ANSI does not create standards. They're more of an umbrella organization that focuses primarily on voluntary guidance on processes that cover several industries in which they accredit other organizations to do so and approve the standards those organizations developed, including ASTM International. So with that, ASTM International is one of the organizations that falls under the ANSI umbrella. Those two organizations work very closely together in the design and the governance of new measures. To put it simply, ASTM International creates and enforces standards. ANSI oversees those standards. Now, if we go back to the testing, I can't express enough how important it is to understand the testing themselves, to understand why we put the products through this test. These 4-5 tests are very important within our industry. So what's the takeaway from this? Suppliers who follow ASTM and ANSI standards guarantee you that they are offering the highest quality products to their customers. Keep in mind that in order for the products to be ASTM and ANSI certified, they're required to be submitted for rigorous testing to ensure that they are reliable under all high-stress situations. And as I said before, I promise you the testing that ASTM and ANSI oversees are much higher stress situations than what we see in typical homeowners' backyards or commercial projects. Make sure, as a consumer or an installer, make sure that your natural stone product meets or exceeds all the testing. Make sure that your supplier, if you're a homeowner, your installer can provide you with this testing data. This goes into transparency. If they can't supply you, or if you're buying natural stone that you cannot get one of these 5 test data sheets from, then be very wary of that product. Here at StoneHardscapes, we will provide you with all the testing information that you have. It is on our website. You can access that testing data at any time. So with that, I encourage you, if you have any questions regarding any of the testing that we do, regarding any of the prior webinars that I have produced, please reach out to me. Again, my name is Jason Osgood. I'm a Senior Director of Distribution. You can contact me by email at josgood@stonehardscapes.com. You can contact our office at 866-407-8663 or go to our website at stonehardscapes.com. And then I would encourage you to join us next Wednesday, the 3rd Wednesday of every month, to watch our designer talk hosted by our senior design consultant, Linda Abbott, to see all that what is available for design aspects of natural stone. And with that, I say goodbye and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.